Yeah.
I'm one of the police officers that works in the building.
Is it? Have you got some ID?
Have you got any ID?
Okay, you're a police officer asking me. I don't need ID.
Right, I'd like to know what you're doing flying a drone in the police car park.
Because I wanted to. If you don't have a warrant card.
I do have a warrant card.
Okay, so I need to see that then.
Right.
There you go. Not that difficult, was it?
Right. Why have you got to be like this?
I'm not being like this. You're just.
A conversation with
No, you're not. You're saying I can't do this. I can't do that. Hey, how you doing?
Why you're flying a drone over a police building?
Because I wanted to.
Well,
It's a police premises.
Okay.
premises.
You don't own the airspace.
No, but it's a secure building. You've got to understand that looks like a massive security risk. If
Does
you're
it?
flying a drone or...
So what security risk do you think I'm going to pose?
Well, we don't know that, do we?
What's the security risk?
Why are you being so argumentative?
I'm not being argumentative. I'm asking you.
Very nice.
Sorry.
And asking you politely.
Okay.
Please don't fly the drone over the building.
Okay, so
you could be liable. You searched under the Terrorism Act.
Terrorism Act.
Alright folks, buckle up because what you're about to see is one of the most bizarre clashes between a police officer and a civilian auditor we've covered. It starts innocently enough, a drone flight near a police station. But in a matter of minutes, things spiral into accusations under the Terrorism Act, questionable detentions, and a heated back and forth over rights, laws, and common sense. On one side, we have officers relying on authority rather than clear legal grounding. On the other, we've got an auditor who knows the law well enough to challenge every shaky claim thrown his way. This is not just about a drone. It's about the balance between power and accountability, and whether the officers cross the line into overreach. Stick with me, because the tension only escalates from here, and the outcome will leave you questioning just how much police training covers the laws.
As I'm required to by law, falls into the
It's
Terrorism Act.
common sense, don't you think?
No, it's not. Hold on, you've just cited the Terrorism Act.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So what part of the Terrorism Act says that I can't fly a drone over the airspace above your building?
Well, all police buildings, all buildings
right, I get what you're saying, but if you're
have
saying...
detrimental effect for someone. Well, I'm not.
Right,
You don't look like you are, but I don't know. You could be someone who's looking
Just
to
sorry,
cause
don't
trouble.
interrupt. Obviously, you're recording.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, which you're entitled to do.
Yeah.
I don't have my body cam on me. I've identified myself, so
okay.
I'm going to record you as well. Just
Is that a personal phone?
Yeah, well, they can take. Is that a personal phone?
Yeah, but you're under GDPR regulations, so you need to make sure you make a copy of that available if I request it.
Yep, as would be with
But I don't have a problem if you film with me. It's completely fine. Just so long as when I make my freedom of information request that's available.
And I will supply this.
Where things start to unravel. Instead of pointing to a specific law or aviation regulation, the officer leaps straight to the Terrorism Act, a huge overstep. Now, under Section 43, police can stop and search if they reasonably suspect someone is involved in terrorism. But does a hobbyist flying a lightweight drone over open airspace really meet that bar? Absolutely not. The officer's reliance on common sense instead of actual legislation is a red flag. This moment shows the difference between enforcing safety and simply asserting control. Quick question for you. Do you think this officer genuinely believed terrorism was at play? Or was he bluffing to shut?
Yes or no? I'll ask you one more time, and
You're free to go.
Yeah, if I'm free to go. If I'm free to go, then I'm free to stay. Okay, it's as simple as that.
You're free to go.
Right, you've cited the terrorism legislation, but you've not told me what part of that legislation that I may be.
Can I speak, please?
Of course you can.
You are being detained under the Terrorism Act.
Okay, what part of the Terrorism Act?
Well, I believe it's Section 43.
Okay, and what are your grounds for that?
You're flying a drone. You've been very obstructive to us.
Okay.
We're trying to have a
Is that-
conversation.
is that grounds?
I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to.
No, you stop. You're infringing on my rights at the moment.
Can I please?
Okay, and you're misusing legislation, and you're
not.
going to make yourself party to a civil claim, and then there'll be professional standards
Well, I
involved.
would rather be safe than sorry. You're flying an aircraft over a police
Correct.
building.
Technically, I didn't go over the police building. No, I won't let you finish because you're infringing on my rights at the moment.
Ferguson. I'm based at Bow Mounted Branch Stables. I've shown you my warrant card yet again because obviously you're going to want to see it again. There is my warrant card. Okay, I've told you you're being searched.
You're not talking about being searched.
Right, you're detained.
You're unlawfully searching me.
I'm not unlawfully.
You're unlawfully searching me. Why are you grabbing me like that?
Because
you're
you're being
assaulting.
Fascinating twist. The officer admits he's recording on a personal phone, but here's the catch. Under GDPR, that footage still counts as police-held data. That means it must be logged, stored securely, and made available if the subject requests it. The auditor is spot on here. Using a personal phone doesn't create a loophole, it creates liability. Imagine this, a civilian requests access to that footage, and the officer shrugs it off as personal. That's a GDPR breach and potential disciplinary action waiting to happen. Transparency isn't optional, and this exchange shows just how easy it is for officers to blur.
You've misused the legislation.
Well, no, we haven't.
Yes, you have.
Absolutely.
What part of Section 43?
I'm not going to explain it.
No, because you can't explain it, and you've not explained it.
I'm not going to.
You've abused the legislation, mate.
You're just being a complete idiot.
But you know what? Keep doing it, because it will be the exact same way with Section 44, and it will get repealed. And as I say, you guys have had it bad enough already. You're not making it easier on yourself. Over 800 officers being investigated.
What's that got to do with your drone being flown?
Because what I'm saying is, yeah, you had an opportunity to come up to me and have a decent conversation.
We tried.
And we could have educated you.
We tried.
But you've decided to misuse the legislation.
We tried.
You've not listened to a word I've said.
Tried.
And you've abused my rights.
From the moment I arrived.
No, because you came out with Section 43
and this is where we are.
Nah, you misused the legislation, and as you can see,
absolutely not.
Yeah,
well, that could be any website.
It's from the CAA, so it's fine.
I don't know what
it's
that
fine
is.
Because see,
Contradiction unfold. One officer tells the auditor he's free to go, only for another to detain him moments later under Section 43. That inconsistency is critical. Detention powers under terrorism law require reasonable suspicion, not annoyance, not defiance, but actual terrorist intent. Here, the only thing fueling the stop is frustration that the auditor won't back down. That's not suspicion, that's ego. And when law enforcement swaps due process for power plays, it undermines trust in the system. Ask yourself, was this detention about safety or about silencing someone who knew the...
Look at that.
I've got my operator ID with on the drone.
We would do exactly the same if we were police officers.
When she came up and interrupted me from flying the drone, I said to her, I'm flying an aircraft, give me a minute and I'll land it, and I landed it straight away, did I not? There you go then. So I know what I'm talking about. You don't, you haven't got a clue.
What about all these private...
Where's my ID? Let me go.
You're going to get your ID in a second.
What about all the private windows?
Sorry. The reason that you were stopped is because you're flying the drone.
Yes, it was.
No,
it's on camera.
It's not.
Well, so what is it then?
Oh my God. You're not listening.
So I says to you, if I go out the pavement and fly my drone from there, is that okay? And you went, no. Is that not what I said? Is that not what I said? Is that not what I said? If that's the case, I'll go out on the pavement over there and I'll bring the drone back up and put it back over your building.
Why would you do that when we've just explained the reasons why?
Is that not what I said?
You're clearly not going to let me...
No, because you're chatting nonsense.
I'm not chatting.
You're havering.
You're not free to stay because this is...
Why am I not? If I'm free to go, I'm free to stay.
This is private
Okay,
property.
so close it off then. I've got an implied right of access.
No, you don't.
haven't.
Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act, 1972.
Borders on comedy. The auditor pulls up the official Civil Aviation Authority's website, the literal rulebook for UK airspace, and the officer dismisses it with, that could be any website. That's like ignoring the highway code during a traffic stop because you don't like what it says. This shows a staggering lack of training. If you're detaining someone under terrorism law, the least you can do is check the official regulator's guidance before dismissing it outright. But instead, the officer doubles down, making this look less like law enforcement and more like...
A car in here.
Not a public car park.
But why is it open to the public?
Because I've told
Where does
you.
it say no
Sir,
entry?
I've told
Where
you
is your
you have to have
gate?
emergency
Jog
access
on.
for the
See you
residents
later.
of the
You're going to
house.
leave before I do.
You please go now.
Or else what?
Otherwise, I will use usable force to escort you off the private property.
And if you do that, that's fine. I will not resist. I will not fight back. But then you'll have another civil claim.
No, because it will be reasonable.
Do you want a bet? Listen, 100%.
You're so angry.
Because look at the state office. These have used Section 43 illegally to stop and search me illegally.
At the very beginning. If that was me...
Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff.
Can you
Put
take
it
your
back.
drone, please?
No, put it back on the floor.
Right,
We'll
we're
take it.
going.
We'll take
Come
it
on,
inside then.
we're going to leave. We're going, sir. Thank you.
No,
Right,
so
reasonable
force,
to
yeah.
escort you off private property.
It's not private property. Who
It
owns
is
the police?
private
Who pays
property.
for the police?
Not you.
No, actually I do. My taxes pay for the police.
Okay.
So I'm going to go on the pavement and I'm going to lift my drone up there. Then what? Then what are you going to do? I'm now on public, aren't I? So I stand on the pavement. What are you going to do then?
Please go.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, you can stay here, but you're not flying your drone over the place.
Do you want to bet? Do you want to bet?
Brilliant legal point raised by the auditor. Implied right of access. Police car parks, unless clearly restricted with signs or barriers, often count as publicly accessible under the Criminal Justice Act. That means you can walk in, just as you would to file a report or attend an appointment. The officer calling it private, without proof, doesn't cut it. And when the auditor pushes back, it exposes just how shaky the officer's footing is. This is why understanding the law matters, because what looks like defiance is actually someone standing firm.
Forced down to stop me flying my drone perfectly legally. You don't even know the legislation. You've not got a clue.
Well, why are you being like this?
Because you've illegally stopped and searched me under 43.
It's
Terrorism Act.
common sense.
It's not common sense.
Fly
Listen,
a drone over a government building because of security
let me
reasons.
just
all I
inform
know,
you something.
you could
So
be
you keep
going
talking
back
over me, you
to-
muppet. Shut up. Shut up. How about
You
that?
could be
Shut
going
your mouth.
back
Shut
to
up.
a terrorist
Shut up.
organisation, for
Shut
all
up.
I know,
Okay.
to give them
Okay.
information about certain buildings.
So do you suspect
So
me
it
of being a
makes
terrorist?
perfect
Do you
sense.
suspect me of being a terrorist?
Well, maybe.
Do you? You've already
Yes.
searched me. Did I allay your fears?
Maybe, because you're adamant that you want to put your drone
Yeah,
above the...
I am. Well, you don't want to listen.
You're
I
going
tried showing
to
you.
end up going into a cell.
That's fine, mate. And then I'll have you done for false imprisonment. And the CPS will turn and say we've nothing to charge him with. Because they'll know the legislation and they'll say what he was doing was perfectly legal. So lock me up. I want you to. Because at the end of the day, it is you that will suffer when the professional standards... Yeah, 100% it will.
No,
Professional standards will
we
come
are
knocking.
we are just doing our jobs.
No, you're not. You're abusing the legislation, sir. What part of Section 43... You've still not answered the question I asked ages ago. What part of Section 43 doesn't allow me to fly a drone?
You can fly a drone.
Right, so you just told me I
Absolutely
can't.
fine, but over a government building...
Right, so what part of legislation says I can't
It's
do
the
that?
security
Tell
risk.
me the legislation.
It's the security risk.
Wait, is your building secure?
Yes.
Well, then you've not got a problem then, have you?
No,
This is where credibility really collapses. After admitting no offense had been committed, the officers still tell the auditor he can't fly the drone over the station. Think about that. They've detained him, found nothing unlawful, and instead of backing down, they impose a brand new restriction with no legal basis. That's not policing, that's saving face. It's the equivalent of losing an argument and then inventing a new rule on the spot. And that's exactly why these encounters gain so much traction online, because they showcase authority being exercised.
Mapping it for a terrorist organisation.
Who owns the airspace?
Are you mapping it
Stop
for a terrorist
chatting
organisation?
nonsense, man.
Well, you're chatting
Use
nonsense
your
to me.
common sense. You said it
You
to me.
use your common
Why are you
sense.
shouting at me, public servant?
Why are you shouting
Wind
at
your
me?
neck in. Wind your neck in. Jog on, go and do your job.
Sir.
Yeah, you don't
I
like
am
it.
gonna do my job.
You don't like
I'm
it.
gonna ask you to move
no,
on.
I'm free to go. I'm free to stay. How about that?
No.
Yes,
Jog on.
It's a public
You jog
place.
on.
You jog on. See you later.
We have been nothing but nice
You've
to you.
just
You're the
abused
one who's been
Section
rude and
43.
obnoxious.
You've abused Section 43 of the legislation, and she felt me up.
I didn't fill you up. I'm the one that
Shut up.
searched you, okay? So if you're going to have a problem...
See you later, muppet. Told you would leave before me. Bye.
I'm back in a minute.
Oh, yeah. See ya. Bye.
Have a lovely
See
day.
ya.
Thank you for your time.
What started as a simple drone flight spiraled into unlawful detentions, shaky citations of terrorism law, and officers grasping at arguments that just didn't hold up. The auditor, whether you agree with his methods or not, knew the law inside out and exposed the gaps in training and procedure with every question he asked. At its core, this wasn't about drones, it was about accountability and what happens when authority is challenged with facts. So, what do you think? Were the officers genuinely concerned about security, or were they simply scrambling to cover mistakes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, share this video with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more explosive courtroom and police encounters that reveal the truth behind the drama.